Green Cove Springs is a small town, which is why detectives believe people likely know more than what they're saying about the death of Melinda Holder. It took 3 decades for her body to be identified, but investigators and her family want to know what happened. Katie Jeffries leads our Unsolved series that focuses on local cold cases. She has more tonight.
This case has an expansive timeline spanning more than 3 decades. And though Melinda Holder's case has sat cold for years, a Green Cove Springs police detective says it's heating up, and people are talking about it once again. Time is a constant, ever moving forward. But to understand Melinda Holder's case, you have to go back more than 3 decades to 1989.
It's a massive puzzle. Just one piece slowly being put in at a time.
A puzzle detective Cora Milliken with the Green Cove Springs Police Department is working to put together. It begins in January of 1989. Melinda Holder, a mother of 5, was living in Green Cove Springs. After she wasn't seen for several days, her mother, Teresa Plummer, told officers she was worried and said Melinda was last seen at her apartment on Love Drive. After a brief search, officers didn't find her, and Miss Plummer pulled back on the missing persons report, saying she'd heard her daughter may have gone with some friends to St. Petersburg.
So from that January to June timeframe, nobody had seen her. So that was very unusual and concerning to the family.
She was officially reported as missing in June of 1989. There had been a report of a possible sighting of Melinda Holder at the Mall Grove Hotel, located just down the road from her apartment, now the site of an empty lot. But that sighting was unconfirmed. Then came December 10th, 1989.
Just seeing the emptiness speaks volumes. You know that something terrible happened here.
Detective Milliken walked us back out to the site of 404 Harrison Street, an empty tree-grown lot today, but more than 3 decades ago was the site of an intense house fire. The next day, December 11th, 1989, as the fire marshal was investigating, he found human bones and what appeared to be the signs of gasoline.
The way it was used was that in the room where Miss Holder's body was recovered, that's where the fire had started.
But at the time, investigators had no idea whose remains had been found. There wasn't much that could be done to identify the body until 30 years later, 2019, with advancements in mitochondrial DNA testing, detectives were finally able to get a definitive ID. The body in the house was Melinda Holder.
She didn't have any enemies. She was too kind to have enemies.
It came as a shock to her oldest daughter, Glenda Pierre. She says her mother was very social, loved to cook, and had a lot of friends.
Every bone in her body was kind, you know, and that's the type of person that she was.
She says she loved her family, a family that has grown extensively over the years. Melinda was a mother to 5 children, now 19 grandchildren, and 38 great-grandchildren.
She lives through all of us and through all of them as well.
Detective Milliken says she is determined to get Holder's family those answers, going through thousands of pages of documents from the case. She says Holder was likely dead a few days before the fire, but the medical examiner could not determine a cause of death due to the fire damage to the remains. Though her death is not being deemed a murder, it is listed as a suspicious death.
Somebody somewhere knows something. That's not a question, that's a fact.
She says she has developed persons of interest in investigating this case, but is looking for more from the community, especially those who can fill in the timeline in the year of 1989. Where was Melinda Holder, and who was she with from that last time she was seen in January until her body was found in December? Detective Milliken is certain someone had to have seen her.
Hope God put it on your heart to come forward and tell whatever it is that you know. We loved our mother, our grandkids, great-grandkids love her, you know, and she was somebody.
If you know anything about the death of Melinda Holder, contact Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.